Once more into the dark, witches. Welcome to day 18 of the 31 Days of Witchcraft. My name is Autumn. Come share the darkness with me. Okay, that was really bad. I don't know what I was thinking. Today's question is, do you use herbs and or crystals in your magic? I think it was, if so, do you have any favorites? I will use items when I'm doing my own, I guess I could call it intuitive. I'll use what I have on hand and make it work. Again, that's that whole intent of the mind and the heart. If I am using a spell that somebody else created that I like how it feels, I will try to make sure I have the items that they have used. When I am doing group ritual and we're doing magic, we'll make sure that everybody has the same items that are correct for what we're doing. Crystals themselves, I showed you my big chunk of amethyst. I have tumbled stones all over the place. Anything in particular, I have some tiger's eye and rose quartz. But they are more for function. I have not really used them in magic. Tiger's eye is for bast, and rose quartz is for, well, happy bedroom. So, herbs and magic. Yes, I do. I have an infusion on my, let me see if I can light up, for anointing that I really needed to can. I started it in the winter time, but I used coconut oil, and we don't run the heat a whole lot because, desert. And so it actually solidified on me in here because the window's always open. So I think it'll be time soon to run it through a coffee filter or 6. It's going to take a while. And I made that to anoint candles and whatnot. But I use floor water to clean things, to anoint things. I wouldn't really call that an herb, though. I have herbs. I have racks. My kitchen. Oh, I can show you. Just a second. Don't look too close because I need to dust, but I have racks with all kinds of goodies. Even a few magnetic things on my fridge. So if I need something, I typically have it somewhere around. I get a lot of my herbs at the in Arizona Food City at the Latin Market. I even get Palo Santo there. I mean, that's just bizarre. But anyway, do I have a favorite herb? I like using lavender when I can and rosemary when I can. That started because that is something I can actually grow here, and I really need to get it in the ground again and make sure the cats don't think it's catnip and roll it up like they did the last time. And I have a eucalyptus tree in the back, but it's not there's male and female, I guess, and apparently the one I have, the leaves don't have a strong smell. But I can use them for burnt offerings, and I do if I don't have bay leaves on hand. That'd probably be my favorite herb that I do magical workings with, actually, now that I say that, is bay leaves. Even though that's not necessarily needed for burnt offerings, you can use paper. In fact, I have a stack of brown paper bags from the dollar store, like lunch bags, that I've used to cut into strips and do offerings when I needed to do sequential stuff for a spell, so that I had plenty on hand. Do I think you need any of these items to perform any magic? Absolutely not. You do not need any of it. If it helps get you there, by all means. But don't feel stressed if you don't have the money to go buy, the bundle of sage, because that stuff's not cheap. I mean, I'm in the desert, and you'd think it would be a lot cheaper here. It's not. So I even have like try not to hit the buttons that turn it off. I even have a container of culinary sage. When I need to sage something in a hurry, I'll foof it onto a candle or something like that. All the gadgets and goodies and things that we all have, none of them are needed. Don't go broke doing it. This is not something that, I've mentioned before, so many of my things have come from thrift stores, dollar stores. I think most of us do that. I can't even think of the most expensive thing I've ever purchased in regards to witchcraft. Yes, I can. My robe. I have a black robe. That was probably the most, and I still bought it at an outlet store. So, that kind of convolutedly roundabouty answers that question. And I wanted to show you, I was digging around, like you do when you got too much stuff in a room that you don't have organized, because I knew I had incense heels. What you call them? Incense holders. Yeah. Just the simple wooden one. Someone had given me a whack of them a long time ago. They had different, I don't even know what they were. I think they were selling them at craft fairs or something. And she just gave them to me. So I know I had them in a box somewhere, and I've been looking and looking and looking. So I started looking around again. I did eventually find them, but then I found these. They were actually still bagged up in a bag from the last time I attended a red tent locally. And I will put a description of what that is if you don't know. I'll put a description in the description box because I'm original and can actually think of words. But let me show you. And it's ironic because I wish I'd found them a few days ago, and then it would have worked really well with the other video. Apparently, these are all, they're all wrapped in Food City bags, so I'm guessing I bought them at Food City. The pillars, which I painted the elemental signs on them. I forgot I did that. In fact, this one looks like it's smudged a bit. I barely remember doing this. Jeepers, it's not been that long, but it was a case of, I put it together and made sure they were all carefully wrapped and back in the bag I used. And there they sat. And I think this year, if nothing else, it's teaching me that, what? I got all this stuff. Stop buying. Oh, my darling would be so happy if you heard me say this. I need to stop buying candles and start using what I've got. But, are we even witches if we don't have a bit of a hoard of something? Candles, incense, oils, all of the above? Books? Books, especially books. Oh my goodness. But again, you don't need any of these things. You don't. But, I have that's outside. I have a fancy athame that somebody gave me, a nice, pointy, sharp one that has a nice little leather casing that I'll have to bring in and show you sometime. And then I have my first one, which I bought at an antique fair. And I say antique fair, but, it was not expensive because it called to me. And so it's always in here. It stays in here. My pentacle, I made out of sculpty clay, and I never fired it, so it's still kind of soft, and it's been many, many, many years. I'm going off on a tangent. Back to the dark. I'm looking forward to seeing your responses to what your favorite herbs or crystals are. I feel like I'm very, I collect all the things and I use them when I need to, but as for favorite, I have a favorite oil. That's clary sage. But, I don't know, herbs and stones, I love them all. Nothing's really... Snowflake obsidian, I used to have a great big chunk of it ages ago. Before this life here. And I've always been fascinated by the different types of obsidian. My hand fasting ring is a hematite. Guess I like that one. My darling has gone through so many of those. I had to explain he thought he was smacking them on his hand or something too hard. Until one day I explained to him that hematite absorbs negativity. And he realized that they kept snapping when he was at work. And he would be very upset at a customer or a coworker, and the thing would just pink right off his hand. So we have a little baggie of those somewhere. Okay, that's long enough for today, I think. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and until tomorrow, witches, blessed be.